Hello, everyone.
Episode 33, I think, right?
Yeah, 33.
Get Real with Real Estate. John and Melissa Steele here. And today we are talking about Mello-Roos.
What is it?
What is a Mello-Roos? And, what does it go to? What does it go for? What am I paying for?
Yeah, this is a question that we get a lot from clients because it will show up as a line item on a property that our clients are looking at. So let's say you're a buyer in San Diego or elsewhere, and you're looking at the costs associated with the property, and you see, the purchase price there, you see maybe an HOA there for a community, and then you see a line item there, Mello-Roos, and it has a little amount. What is it?
Yeah, so Mello-Roos, basically what it is a kind of special assessment that the city or the town or the community or whatever that district is that they've agreed upon to basically assess this additional tax. And what it is to help establish the community. So typically you only see Mello-Rooses in like newer communities, newer developments, stuff like that. And the purpose of it is basically, like I said, to kind of establish the community. So let's say you've got this big piece of dirt out in the middle of kind of nowhere. Like there's not really much going on there, but they're going to build it up, right? They're going to build a housing community or a townhomes or whatever it is. Then people are going to want to live there. But, okay, so they live there. What do those people need? Well, they're going to need, a fire department. They're going to need a police department. Maybe a library. They're going to need streets to get there. They're going to need street lights. They're going to need sewer lines, power lines, all this stuff. They're basically you can't just kind of build a community in the desert and have no way to get there, all that stuff. You have to kind of establish the community. Mm-hmm. So that's what the Mello-Roos is for, to help, put into place streets, lights, all those things I mentioned.
Yeah, and so the district, whatever the district is that we're referencing, and like John said, it could be a massive area, like as big as a city, or it could
County,
be or it could be a very small pocket within that. And the district will vote, and 2/3 of the vote have to vote in favor of the special assessment or Mello-Roos. And what that will then do is everybody within that Mello-Roos, or within that sphere of, physical area, will get hit with what's called the Mello-Roos tax payment. And that Mello-Roos could last up to about 30 to 40 years is the typical period of length for that Mello-Roos to affect a particular property within the district.
Could be less too, though. Honestly, it depends. Every property is, different.
Exactly.
It all depends on how much money they need to basically raise, how big of a project it is. So it could be, anywhere. And let's say you're buying a house and it has Mello-Roos on it. One of the things that you'll get to look into, as you're doing your due diligence is, how long is that Mello-Roos going to be there? Mm-hmm. You'll be able to see, when it falls off.
How long it's already been in action.
How much it's projected to increase, all of that stuff. Typically it can add, a couple $100 potentially per month, on your payment. So it is an additional cost that you definitely have to factor in.
Mm-hmm. To your monthly expenses.
Yeah, and it's something that, if it falls off, within the first couple of years of you moving in, that's awesome. If it's something that you're going to have for probably the entire time you're going to live in that property, it's something you want to keep in mind that, hey, this
Absolutely.
is going to stick with it.
And something to keep in mind, too, for certain Mello-Rooses, let's say you're moving into a brand new community, and there's a 40-year Mello-Roos on that property, and you're about to, move in to day one of that 40 years. Over time, certain Mello-Rooses do increase a certain percentage as well, year over year. It's very minimal in most cases, but the Mello-Roos today at day one could be, let's say, $250 a month, but with that minimal increase year over year, by year 40, it could be up to $280 per month. So you don't really know. You'll want to do those calculations. You'll want to definitely ask your agent if there's a Mello-Roos payment associated with your property. How long is it going to stick to your property? At what point does it fall off? What date do you have to continue paying it until? And does it increase? And if so, what does the rate of increase go per year?
Yeah, and here in San Diego, you can find a few pockets all over, but I would say where you most often find Mello-Rooses is Chula Vista.
Mm-hmm.
Chula Vista
There's
has
a
a
lot
lot.
in Chula Vista.
The East Lake community, a lot. Out there, there's a lot of Mello-Rooses all over there. Like I said, you typically don't really find them in older communities, more established. You won't really see them in downtown area or something like that. But Chula Vista, where it's a lot of these new developments kind of out there, like that's exactly Mello-Roos land, so to say.
Mm-hmm. So it's one thing to be cautious of. We have a lot of clients who, for instance, get very excited about Chula Vista because the properties are well priced. You get a lot of bang for your buck. But one thing to keep in mind is, let's say you've got a property that's, let's just say $425, and that's what the purchase price is going to be. So you're establishing your monthly payment on that purchase price. Not only do a lot of those properties have HOAs, though, they also have Mello-Roos. So we've had clients who get very excited about like a Chula Vista area and neighborhood because they're looking at the purchase price and they're not realizing that they have like maybe a $350 HOA plus a $250 Mello-Roos, which is like $600 extra a month to their monthly expenses. So it's something to definitely take note of in certain neighborhoods. We see it a lot in Chula Vista, sometimes in areas like Carlsbad, sometimes in areas like we're seeing a lot of development in. I'm trying to think of, like Valley Center is one that we sometimes see because there's a lot of new development in those areas. But ultimately, it's the community's opportunity to recoup some of the costs that they get to put out in building a new community.
Yeah, establishing infrastructure and all of that.
Exactly. So if you come across a Mello-Roos payment, definitely do your research, see what you're really getting yourself into, how long it's going to last, what that monthly cost is going to look like. And definitely reach out to us as agents or your particular real estate agent to ask them any other questions that you have, because you want to make sure that you are comfortable with your monthly payment always before purchasing a house.
Yeah. Hope you guys found this helpful. Feel free to reach out to us, 619-887-4429, or you can comment below, hit us up on all the different social media. You guys know where to find us. Steele
Smash
San Diego
that like
Homes.
button.
Catch you next time.
Bye.